Education, Laurie Kilmartin.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm hungry and I need this hour to go quickly.
Okay, chop chop on this hour. This is it. Let's look at some time code. All right, folks. I have been home for 1 week.
Right.
And I've enjoyed it completely, thoroughly.
Yay.
A lot of it. I planted some herbs. I talked to my garden people, the garden center place that I go to, and they're like, too soon for tomatoes, too late to start seeds.
Oh.
So I was going to start seeds this year, but I should have done it 2 months ago.
You know, I wonder if Sarah Schaefer would ever do just a gardening for comedians Substack so that we could learn.
Sarah Schaefer, Emily Heller.
Oh, yes.
Also a huge gardener.
Right. And they could give us enough warning so that if you're doing a lot of road work, you can plan your planting on that 1 day home or something.
Hard agree. I would love it. But I did do I did a bunch of tasks. Today I'm going to go to Chrissy Haberman's memorial. You didn't know her, comic from here.
Right.
Passed away, very sad. And then I have a set at Dynasty. And
nice.
It's going to be amazing. It's a great lineup. Nate Craig, Deb DiGiovanni,
Wow.
other people that are very good. Last night I did the West Side comedy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I was going to go to Flappers, try to see if I could get a work in. But in the middle of the drive, I got kind of lost on the highway because Santa Monica to Burbank is a mess. It's sort of like trying to get via highways and stuff. It's a bit of a chore. And I got dumped out in the middle.
5 to the 134 to the 5.
Oh no, they put me on the 10. The Waze.
Yeah.
Put me on the 10 to the 5, and I got off on the 10 and then just wandered the streets.
And then you were in San Bernardino.
I don't even know. When I moved here, they didn't have a 5 South San Bernardino. They just had 5 to San Bernardino. And
they didn't say it was south?
Yeah. And I was like, well, who knows? Who knows?
5 doesn't go to San Bernardino, the 10.
Who cares? But whatever it was, whatever highway it was, it didn't tell me if it was going south or west or east or north.
Oh,
it just said the name of the town.
Right, I know that. Yeah.
And I was like, boo. This is terrible. This is terrible game design for someone trying to get across the city.
Well, it's also even our highways are narcissistic. We expect you to know us before you even get in a car.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And I did a dork for us this week with Eliza Skinner. She's so freaking funny.
She's great.
And she talked about conversation cards. She would take these cards to of all events, but including those events that are like industry events.
Right.
Where she runs out of things to say, whips out a handful of cards.
Oh, really? Oh, that's a fun little game.
It's a fun little game and easier than, just going, well, you got anything? Because I'm done, which is how sometimes my interaction with the industry can go.
Well, it's often your interaction with me.
There's that. And look, it just transfers, and you're in the industry. And when we say the industry, we're talking the textile
I'm looking
industry.
at my calendar. I don't feel like I'm in the industry.
Yeah.
I had local sets. I had I had a set where I followed someone doing it killed in the room, but also I feels like very like a super road chunk, where you're like, you're doing that in LA too. Like, I understand you're fighting for your life in Wisconsin on a Friday night. Okay, you drag that out, but in LA, come on.
You don't need to drag it out.
No.
Yeah, there was a little bit of that last night at the Improv second show. The audience was super quiet. I mean, nobody wanted to bring up politics at all or anything sad.
Right.
So the edgy comics were forced to say things like, yeah, if you don't like something I say, fuck you. And you're like, and then they don't say anything.
I know that stance.
Well, and then they don't say anything. All they've done is said that.
Right. I try to say that after a joke.
I was talking to I was talking to somebody about dealing with hecklers and how much I don't like it because I don't
Right.
write for hecklers, you know?
Right.
I mean, I was trying to think of people who write to
Well, I don't write for
hecklers.
hecklers either. I mean, it's like that skill of just, where you just have like 15 lines about fucking their mother in your back pocket. Like, to me, that's kind of, that's a little,
Right.
you
That's
could,
just
you could memorize that shit and then do it if you wanted to.
right. And that's what, and they were shocked that was the response to hecklers. Because even people who write to crowd work, like you just said, they're not writing to hecklers. They're writing to talking to the crowd. And you might make fun of the crowd. You might cast aspersions upon their parentage, but you are not going to, like, you're not going to say, hey, you're a fucking asshole, or shut up, cunt. And, that's not going to happen in the midst of something where you're just having a sort of a fun banter, about how long you've been married or what job you do or whatever the damn thing is. But so I was explaining that when there's actual hecklers and nobody in the room is running security, like you're doing a one-nighter or you're at a shitty club that doesn't do security, you have to be security. And so the only way to do it is usually by being enormously rude.
Right.
And there's like 4 stages of heckler talk, and I've said it before, but I mean, the last stage is literally, I want to hurt your feelings so you leave. And I don't ever want to get there, but sometimes you're like, it's the only thing I can think to do. And I have decided, since that conversation of shocked disbelief of the civilian that I was talking to, that I want another plan.
You want another what?
A different plan than going to that level ever. Like literally just saying, because I think like Chad Daniels told me he just gets off stage.
Really?
Yeah, he's just like, I don't want to be super mean to you. But I have jokes that I want to tell. So I'm going to go away. They're going to have to take you away. And then I'll come back up.
Interesting. That does get the audience invested in getting a person out.
Yeah. And if it ruins the show and they blame you for it, if they're sane, they'll blame the heckler. But if people are mad, they're like, well, they should have been able to deal with it. And they should have just done blah, blah, blah. They should have. Then you know that you don't want them to be your fans anyway.
Right. People when I put up video of like interactions I've had with not crowd work, but hecklers, everyone in the comment is a non-comic telling me how they would have done it and they would have slammed them harder. But I think it's super important never to get mad. It's like super
right. If you can avoid getting mad or terrified, you win.
And if your voice gets lower, like
I got a cold, so it's natural right now. Go ahead.
But no, yours is husky sexy.
Hello.
We should be recording audiobooks right now. I don't know why you're on this podcast.
Twice fell for a rogue.
Read a Danielle Steele book right now. That's what you should do. But there was like at Laughs. Oh, what are you reading?
Here's a romance novel. My least favorite thing about romance novels is that the people never have faces. They're always cut off before the eyeballs. You're like, look at the rack. Look at the rack. Look at the rack. And
yeah, she has a nose and a mouth, just no eyes. But I guess...
Yeah, and a lot of times they do it to the guys too. Like traditionally, they've only done it to the women, but they're started doing it. The desensitizing of humanity has crossed over. Anyway.
Yes. Well, I was at Laughs. Last time I was at Laughs, I think there was someone in the front. There's a dude in the front row that just kept. Oh, because I had a little thing about my dog, right, or dogs, and he would start barking during, like, just weirdly.
Yeah.
And then I think I pointed it out once and kind of
he might have had Tourette's. Yeah.
No, he didn't. He had a terrible personality. And then so he started barking again later, and I just was like, you have to go. And I kind of just said it very softly. And I just was like, yeah, it's not, not working. You have to leave. And he looked
Right.
really surprised. And the whole audience was like, oh, what the fuck? And I was like, don't worry. It's cool. It'll be uncomfortable for a little bit. And then this guy
Yeah.
will be gone. And it took like a minute at least, for I think people in the back, like the security, to go, oh, she's not fucking around. This guy's got to go. So they got him. It was very, uncomfortable. I wasn't going to waste any jokes on him, and I
Nope.
didn't want to do anything to activate him. I just wanted him gone. And then when they're gone, then you have a celebration with the crowd, and they're so excited.
Right,
and
right.
the rest of the show's like, just like,
That was weird. That was uncomfortable. Let us continue.
now we're
Yeah.
here. It's just us. That asshole's gone.
Yep.
And then that other time, I have this up on YouTube too at Flappers. This woman was insane. And so she kept going, you're not funny. And so I just started agreeing with her and saying, well, yeah, you shouldn't be here because what a waste of your night. Like, you can't let them say anything to you that will trigger you. If you just agree with them and start flipping them, like they're the assholes for being at your show. So you guys should leave. And then the people who don't like funny comedy can stay and I can perform,
Right.
Can't get mad. It's so hard, but you really can't get mad. Or
Yeah,
you've
it's
lost.
all it's and it it's almost it's a learned skill to not get
Yeah.
mad. I
Yeah.
once read a book called You Can't Make Me Angry.
Uh-oh. What did you read that at? That seems like
I was like,
a revenge book that you read at a parent you're mad at.
I think it was a way to deal with anger at your parents. I
Sure.
think that was what it was. It was several years ago. I don't know where I got it, but it was good actually, if I remember correctly. And there are so many books that I've read that I think about occasionally, and that one just came up. It's a great story. I
Sure, Jackie.
am.
It leads to things.
It
You're
does.
you're always criticizing yourself in your head.
I know it. I know it. It isn't right. It isn't. Yeah, that's right. I'm a better person today than I was yesterday. How about that?
No, I wouldn't go that far. But,
Could have happened.
I had three late shows this week, where I got home like after my kid went to sleep.
Yeah,
That was hard.
that's weird. Yeah, that's weird for you. Yeah.
Because he kind of like, it's kind of stresses him out a little bit and whatever. But it's weird. You can't like always ask a show to accommodate your child. There's, like,
Jody
other
Miller
comics
last
on the
night.
bill.
Yeah.
And
Jody Miller was on the West Side Show last night.
Did you watch your set?
I had to go because I had another set. I had to get lost in the downtown.
Oh yeah.
And but she was last, and she's like, "Oh, I did not know I was closing." And so,
Yeah.
Tommy Ryman and I both had to go early because we both had sets.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Would it be okay if I went earlier? I have a babysitter." And I was like, yeah, take your $20 and throw that into a vat of oil. She got to go a little bit earlier, but not.
It's so hard. It
Mhm.
is so fucking hard. At least, like, I don't have a sitter anymore. I was that for like the first 8 years until my mom moved in. you
Yeah.
know? Oh, it is just, and then you feel like an asshole asking, and it also makes you.
But it's such a money suck on the personal side, right?
horrible.
Yeah, and you
I
feel
don't know how
bad.
much
She was.
sitters are now. Are they 20 an hour now?
I
gotta be
hope
15 to
so.
20 an hour.
I hope so. And she has a baby. And she showed us pictures of that baby. Was adorable. Holy smokes, is a cute baby.
Yeah,
Two of my nephews had babies. They didn't. Their wives, partners
of
did.
course.
But like in the last month, in the last week or couple
That's
of weeks.
nice. That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, that adds to my great niece nephew. I have almost entirely nephews. I think that makes it 5 great nephews and 1 great niece.
Well, Jackie, you have so many people in your family that your siblings started being born in the 30s and up until the mid 60s when you
Yes.
were born. Yes.
Exactly. Yes, they were. It was. Yes, my oldest brother was born in 55. So,
Wow.
and his kids. Yeah, two of his kids have kids. And then my next oldest brother, one of his kids, two of his kids have kids. So
I
and
have
that's where we're at.
two of my cousins are grandparents, and
Wow.
I'm like, huh, they're like my age and younger. You know, that's
Well,
a choice. That's a choice.
last night in the green room, I was talking to Dana Donnelly. Is that it?
Yeah.
Dana? Yeah. Anyway, but she said something, I said something, and she said, that sounds like something my mom would say. And I just looked at her and I said,
No.
how old is your mom? And she said, oh, a lot older than you. She's 57.
I mean, it's a nice way to tee up to it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going to be 57. And she said, I swear to God, I thought you were in your early 40s. And I was like, well, I like the way this conversation is going.
Yeah, this started horrible and ended lovely.
Yes.
So
she's a very nice. Sorry, I didn't get to see her. She was really funny
Yeah.
in the green room. She was real likable
yeah.
and not crazy. You know, like when you're sitting around in a green room, you
Yeah.
do. The last couple of weeks, you have explained you sitting around in a green room trying to talk to people, and everyone's like saying insane stuff, and you're like, why don't you look at your phone? Anyway,
I already forgot those conversations.
right. It was weird. It was super weird. And yeah, so but it was just Tommy, Ryman, and Dana in
At the West Side?
at the West Side. And then Jody came and went. A guy named Shang came in.
Oh,
but
Shang.
But not Shang Wang.
Oh, no. Shang, big tall guy.
Yeah, but a large black man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. And he was going
we
to
did the comedy competition together like in 92.
Okay.
Ooh.
He was he was off to he was off to the Laugh Factory in Long Beach, and I accidentally said, "Oh, that club is hard." And he kind of looked at me. I said, "It will not be tonight. Tonight it will be an amazing full audience." I did it right when Omicron came out. And
I think it depends how big your act is. Like I think he's a big guy. He's very dominating on stage. I imagine Long Beach is like easy peasy for him.
I kept saying weird things to him, and he kept kind of flinching a little bit. And I was like, "Oh, my game is off, my friend. My game is off."
Look at your phone.
Yeah, exactly. Why wasn't I?
Well, here's the thing. And West Side, once you're in the green room, you're kind of there, right?
Oh yeah,
because it's to the left of the audience. So, so you better hope everyone in there is, okay to chill with.
right. What was the one that oh, I know, Creek and Cave. He was like that he had just driven by it, and he was like, how is that in Austin?
Oh, in Austin?
Yeah. And I said, it's in that weird club neighborhood, but the room itself is amazing.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, good. All right.
Yeah,
and,
it's a great room.
Yeah.
I didn't fill it, but I can't tell if it was Thanksgiving weekend or something, or Omicron.
It was.
Or me.
Yeah. Well, you never know. I don't know.
Never know.
The Denver, my Denver shows on Saturday were just epic. And I finally figured out, by the way,
yeah,
that when I go to Denver, we realized this during the first show, that I should have that. I'm not good with altitude. I get all dizzy and stuff. And now I have this cold I'm in the last days. I know I've been saying that for a week.
That's crazy.
But,
that's like a 4-week cold or something, right?
It's second week. It was Friday to Friday, so it's 2 Fridays now. And it's almost gone. It's almost entirely gone. But so somebody said, well, you should have those, that you should get that oxygen that you can suck on. And I was like, oh, what a good idea. So manager went to the gas station and bought a couple of cans. And Saturday night I slept well for the first time. And I was there Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And
That's
Saturday
amazing.
was the best sleep that I got.
Wow.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll work that club one day and know what you're talking about.
Maybe you will. I'm trying to think. I have to ask if it's okay. Because I want to do Fort Collins, but I saw Pete Lee is doing Fort Collins, and he does the Comedy Works.
Yeah.
So if I do Fort Collins, like if David would put me like kind of in the next 6 weeks or so, then it would be, because it's far enough away.
Yeah, I think
It should
to
be,
me,
but
that's like San Jose and San Francisco. Like you're not going to go to both. There,
right, there isn't a huge amount of overlap.
traffic and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you're completely addicted to that comic, but then you're probably going to go to both venues anyway. You
Right,
know?
right. And that's what I want to make sure that the Comedy Works is cool with me doing it, because I
Yeah.
think that there was some issue where they were a little twitchy when he opened it up.
I
So
thought they increased the radius that which included Fort Collins. That's what I heard.
yeah. I just gotta check in. But there's a bunch, because I like I put on my vision board that I wanted to work less weeks but make more money. And so I have less weeks on the book.
And what's the money situation?
Yes. No, the money has not caught up. Though I did submit to do some Zoom corporates, which I don't know what they pay.
How do you submit to it? What do you mean?
A friend of mine had a she did one of the younger comics. She's listening. Hello, Ashley. She suggested, she said she did like a dozen in a day.
Wow.
And that was in December though. So I mean, if they turn it into Mini Muffin Monday or whatever, then maybe it'll be something. And she wasn't making a great deal of money per one, but if you do a dozen and they all pay whatever, that's a good payday.
Yeah.
It felt like Maria's cameo.
I was just going to ask you, are you thinking of doing cameos?
No.
No.
How about you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could give condolences.
I know. That's what I said in the chat. I was afraid people would just say like my friend's mother just died. Talk to her.
Oh Christ. Somehow make my friend's mother my friend
I don't know.
Her mom just died. You're like, I cannot do that. I cannot. You have to put that in the
I have no idea. I mean, maybe I could. I mean, if the person was cool, but they had asked me to do to sign up before Mother's Day once.
Yeah.
So maybe
as Mother's Day comes, yeah, it might be something. And yeah, I don't know. Did you see? So there were a couple of amazing threads from comedians, because I guess the president of the Ukraine used to do stand-up.
I think I don't know if he did it in the sense that we do it, bitterly and without success, but I think
because Louis C.K. had a gig.
Oh God, that was so
Kyiv.
fun.
Yeah,
for like a day when we all thought he was still going to do his gig, and we were all making.
It was yesterday. Today's Sunday. It was supposed to be last night.
Yeah,
he was supposed to be at the Palace of Arts.
Yes.
On the Saturday, the 25th,
and the Friday as well. Yeah, I think so.
Was it 2 nights? Because then I went to CK's calendar to see how canceled he was, and he has 15 dates all over Europe. Like March 1st and 2nd, he's in Palermo, Spain.
Europe's a lot more open to masturbation, forced masturbation in front of.
Well, so is Chicago.
And unwitting. Yeah, I guess so. But I did like the idea that, well, for a while it looked like he hadn't canceled, and part of me was like, would I cancel? I think I would.
I loved your tweet about how I've never felt more connected. The fact that he hasn't canceled.
Right, but I'm not sure. I mean, you and I have both done shows in war zones, but they've been, on bases. So we're a lot more
on bases, surrounded by a wall of Halliburton. So
if people are staying and they want a show, I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe between shootings they want to see a show.
Sure.
I have no idea.
Yes. And
but
then
canceled, so.
Yes. What about Andy Smith? Did you see the Andy Smith thread?
You sent it to me, but I didn't have time before our podcast started.
Right. So Andy Smith is an amazing comic who I don't know if she's still doing stand-up. I think she had a kid about 6 years ago, and she moved back she's from Janesville, Wisconsin, which is where Pete Lee is from.
She designed the cover of my first CD.
and she's a graphic designer. She has amazing web chops.
Yeah.
And is doing just fine, but I think is living in Missouri right now, St. Louis or something like that. And but Augie sent me her thread, Augie Smith, and it's essentially just a bunch of like analogies between how being a comic would help you lead a nation.
Right.
And it's kind of like, it's very flattering. So of course I liked it.
Look, I believe it. I've said it before,
Sure.
And these dumb politicians are trying to be funny and they're awful at it, But I feel like so many comics have done so many horrible things or said so many horrible things that if you were to actually run for anything, all they have to do is go back through your YouTube channel and post something and go, oh yeah, I dropped out. I'm sorry.
Right. James Inman was telling me that on Twitter that the president of the Ukraine is actually a fascist, and I'm like, he might be a dictator, but I don't think that's true. And
I don't know. I haven't read anything like that. Is he so left he's right? Or
like what's happening there, right? And I was like, what did
if he was a fascist, Putin would like him,
Right, they would go to lunch.
He put in Belarus is I don't know, all these words, they all get mixed up. Authoritarian, fascist, like it's
Hitler,
like,
Nazi
leader or not,
Right. What are you actually trying to achieve?
Yeah.
And just because he's a comic doesn't mean that he's he's sane, right?
Especially doesn't mean he's sane. But he might have been like a funny comedian, like as Tom Hanks is a comedian. Like Tom Hanks did a little stand-up, but he is mostly a comedic actor. I think this guy Zelensky was more in that vein.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish. Literally, I was like, he was a comic. That's all I knew. And then, but my favorite thing that happened in the last hour or two was Jen Kirkman quote tweeted Whitney Cummings her old tweet about comics aren't your heroes.
Oh no.
And so Kirkman quote tweeted it and said, they're actually your president. And they stand up again and they say things like fuck Russian warships.
Wow, the comedy wars continue. There is violence,
international.
Russia invading Ukraine.
Right, it's gone international. This is no longer a comedy civil war. This is a comedy world war.
Comedy World War One and regular.
And what?
And regular World War III.
I think we have a title: Comedy World War. So that is Banana Land. So I'm going to DC just in time for the truckers to make it.
Oh, hey.
Maybe they'll all come to my show at the DC Comedy Loft.
Well, I hope they run out of gas on the way and they can't afford to fill up.
Right. I don't know what their jam is, but
is the State of the Union coming up? Is that why?
Yeah. I think the State of the Union.
Are you going to be there
Tuesday
during the State of the Union?
I don't know. I'm supposedly I'm to fly in on Wednesday because I have press on Thursday morning. But I have yet to, I want to triple check that. And I think that they're supposed to get there Tuesday because the State of the Union, I think, is Wednesday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot. And then you have a show on Thursday night. It's a Thursday through Saturday.
And that's something.
Sure. I'm in West Bend at the Bend Theater. It's
Friday, Saturday?
West Bend, Wisconsin. And it's just Saturday, but I'm flying in on Friday night so that I can, there's no panic, because I'm coming in to Denver. So it's, it's a drive or whatever. Or they're flying me in. I don't even know where they're flying me to, but you know what? I trust them. Why does your face go like that?
My face went like that because I'm like, you're not flying into Denver and driving to West Bend, Wisconsin.
No, you know what? You're right. And I don't know what I'm doing. I just know
that they booked it. They booked the flight.
The plane ticket. That's all I know. And
Okay.
you know what? I'll let them take it from there. That made no sense. You're right. Okay. So I'm flying, and I will be there on Saturday night, I think for one show only, 8 o'clock. And I know probably not many of our listeners live in West Bend, Wisconsin. It's not a giant town.
But it's outside of Milwaukee. It's outside of Madison. It's outside of
near
Green Bay.
Milwaukee. It's near Appleton. Okay. I probably will never work the Skyline because the guy who owns it now is the guy that doesn't book us, you and me, for anything.
Right.
So if you like the Skyline, you're gonna have to drive a little to see me. Okay, but please do.
Yeah. What the heck? I heard the Skyline actually isn't even putting up features anymore. Since that guy Cliff, who owned it for 1,000 years, he always had an apartment, and the MC had the room. It was a house, but the MC had the room with the bead curtain instead of a door. The feature had a room with a door, and the headliner had a room with a door, and there was a plastic runner that. Did you ever work it?
I did. I worked it once. Yeah.
That ran from the front door to those rooms, and then it had and Cliff's mom cleaned it, and if she ever complained about it, you never got booked again.
I worked it once. Maybe she complained about me.
This sounds amazing.
I'm not filthy.
No, you are not filthy. And I hated staying with the two strangers.
I did. I stayed with Sean Rouse. He was the feature, and that was a weird show, by the way. But he was taking a Greyhound to like Seattle or something by himself. So I bought him a sleeping bag or some sort of blanket, because it looked like he'd just be sitting upright in his jeans, according to what he told me. I didn't care for that house. I never feel safe in a house, but I mean, how much is it to buy a door after 20 years? You can't buy a door for the MC, so they can't.
Well, and now there's no house, and now they only put up the headliner. And I was talking to some Chicago features, and they're like, just drive up and drive home.
How long of a drive is that?
3 hours. It'd be like going to Santa Barbara. Which, but for $50 a show?
Now, with these gas prices now?
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. Hey, let's take a break.
Okay.
Let's do Comic of the Week.
Yes.
Georgia Comstock. Here's the thing. I worked with her in Denver. She did 4 7-minute sets. I've been quoting her jokes for a week and a half.
So you couldn't remember the last name Comstock last week?
I couldn't remember the last name Comstock last week. And it's Georgia's Wild on Instagram. GeorgiasWild.
Does she call her set the Comstock Act? Like,
no. Is that some sort of weird political thing? What is
no,
that?
like in the that was what they called there's language that you couldn't be dirty in films, like you couldn't use certain language or
that was the Hays Code.
Oh, what's the Comstock Act?
I don't know, because you said it and I recognize it now. I cannot remember. I will look it up.
I thought it was a filth thing. No? Well, that if she doesn't, that makes sense then.
Right. And she wasn't dirty. She was super interesting and super funny. She just had such great marriage material, and it was outstanding. And I loved her set. And I've been the Comstock Act of 1873 made it illegal to send obscene.
Ties to comedy. I think this is literally the thing Lenny Bruce fought.
Oh, it made it illegal to send obscene, lewd, or lascivious, immoral, or indecent publications through the mail. Or
she's
not using this.
Because this is all the stuff they fought in the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Or to possess an obscene book, pamphlet, picture, drawing, or advertisement. Anyway, Georgia Comstock, you guys. She's a great comic from Denver. And you totally, I don't know if she knows about the Comstock Act.
I'm sure she does. I insist that she reference a 150-year-old law.
I think the Comstock Act we want is her act, and to go see it.
Yes.
That's it. That's the act.
The Comstock Act of 2022.
Yeah.
Woohoo. I can't believe she's not on Twitter. All we have is an Instagram, right, Kyle?
Yes, it's a gram.
You mean you
Georgia's
can't believe she
wild.
chose sanity over
Yeah.
insanity?
Right, a little bit of peace, a little bit of peace of mind.
Mhm.
So,
But how will she know how hated she is?
too funny.
Yeah, true. How would you know that you were hated if you weren't? Because Instagram is a different vibe completely.
Yeah, it's just pictures, so it helps. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I'm supposed to get a restock on all of my shirts. I sold out of almost all of my shirts.
God, I need some merch.
Yeah, and Denver, I didn't bring any shirts because I was out of squish shirts, and those are the ones that sell out. Really, the dad ones do okay, but the squish shirts sell out almost every time. And
Wow.
so I just brought CDs, DVDs, and some pins and coins. And I think I told you this last week. I have a new pitch for the coin, and so I sold like 10 coins.
Wow.
And the coins are expensive. They cost me a lot of money. Hunts, I pass that non-savings on to you. And so they're challenge coins, and so they're $20 each. It feels expensive, but they are very nice challenge coins.
They're
so
cool. They're
yeah.
really cool.
My dad likes them, and yeah.
I need to watch my act and see what I could turn into merch. But I always hate the feeling of, oh, now I got to do that joke. Like it tends to make me hate the joke it's tied to when I used to sell t-shirt merch.
I still have spooky reading girl pins.
Yeah.
And people always want me to do the spooky reading girl joke, but I can't. It reminds me of the LA pet joke that everyone wanted me to do for a decade after I was done doing it. And now there's the spooky reading girl joke, which is a great joke. And quite honestly, somebody emailed me and they were like, that would make an amazing like basis for a cartoon for just a little girl who was like a reader who was not good socially.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And there would only be one episode where she stopped a fight, but it would be, there could be other like weird, like there's other weird stories of me and the public library when I was a child and the school library, because it was the place I always hid when I was a kid. So
could I make a shirt with a label that says Anne Frank Taylor Loft? No.
Yeah.
No.
You could. I don't know how well it would sell.
Not at all.
Okay. How about you could just go the Jake Johansson touch it. You could just literally do like a dick joke and he'd be like, and then you could count all of your money in hell. I do wonder though.
Wait, where's touch it? Is it like above the navel and points down, or where?
No, it's actually quite classy. It was sort of a maroon shirt with kind of a red inlaid embroidered word.
Yeah.
That was like, so it was maroon with a burnished red, so it almost faded into itself.
Yeah.
But if you had to look at it, you'd be like, touch it. Oh, ick. And then you would laugh.
But does he have a chunk about it? Or
he has a chunk about how where it was this is 15 years ago, right?
Okay.
Jake Johansson, always hilarious. And for a little while had a dick joke.
Sets.
So many Letterman sets. Yeah. And he for a while had a dick joke where he talked about how easy it was. The premise has been done before and he did a very good job with it. And it was essentially just about how men come easier than women and all you have to do is touch it. So that's the premise. He made it better than that. It was funnier than that.
Listen,
but that was the t-shirt. He's
done so many clean TV sets that he's allowed to do a dick joke. So everyone need to back off Jake Johansson.
If anybody's up in his business, it's okay. Though I did make fun of him about that shirt, and he was hilariously defensive.
That's how you know he's a good comic. He's ashamed. You're not a good comic unless you're ashamed of at least 10% of your act. Okay.
You got a dick joke. Like I thought that staycation was kind of a little hacky. Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, oh no, it's epic. And I'm like, helpful. Okay. Yeah. and it's helpful.
Yeah.
And it has helped with getting people to pronounce my name right. And a couple people have mispronounced it anyway, but on the whole, it's been very, very helpful. So happy as a clam. I'm clam happy.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's see. I don't know. There was no scandals in comedy. Was Rogan? I don't. Is it Rogan's always trending? Like every 3 days he's trending. But I guess he got 200 million from Spotify
Yeah,
instead
yeah.
of the 100 million that we thought.
Yeah.
I
Worth
swear
it.
to God, if it was Hannah Gadsby who'd gotten 200 million, a certain type of comic would be enraged that their Spotify wasn't paying them very much, that Hannah was taking all their money. But because it's Rogan and they have a shot at getting on a show and maybe also making that kind of money, they're like, he's a hero.
Did you see the article? It was an article about Shane Moss, because Shane Moss was on Rogan in 2016,
Yeah.
and now
No,
Shane Moss. Okay, yeah, Shane Moss. He's another Wisconsin comic. He's very funny.
he's hilarious. Super smart.
Right, and I think he's from like Eau Claire or something like that. But he is he's really into science. Like now he has a podcast about science and stuff like that. And so he has taken to confronting Rogan's fans about the science misinformation.
How does he do it, on YouTube or something, or
Twitter.
Oh.
He'll just call them out and just be like, you can't truly believe this. And it's so, he's trying very hard to just go, hey, I am also a doofy looking dude. What about me? I believe in science. And so it's just a middling success.
Yeah, I don't know. I heard on some other podcast, I think, that there's a guy who sums up Joe Rogan's podcast in a podcast and also has huge numbers.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I guess we'll unless we stumble into something, we'll always be on the podcast margins of success.
It's nice here.
It's fine. Sure.
It is nice.
I live
You know
here.
what? Exactly. I mean, right. That's where it's I have to say that being recognized in Denver, the 2 times I was recognized this trip,
Yeah.
was actually weird. So,
yeah.
and everyone was very nice and very supportive and polite and everything, but I was just like, no, I don't.
Jackie, if 2 people actually pointed out that they recognized you, how many people did and didn't say anything but were watching you?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
hope
know.
they weren't
It's kind
watching
of
me. I'm not a
terrifying.
gazelle. Yeah, it is. This really shouldn't be scrutinized quite so. What's that Frank Zappa thing? The scrutinizer? And so
I don't know.
anyway.
I
What
don't know.
else? I've talked about the things that I have handy. What else?
I put up a bra video today.
Oh my God, I saw that, and it was I was like, is she really going to just start showing her bras? And
I
good
did.
for her. Those were nice ones, by the way.
Those
There
are
was,
nice ones. One of them
yeah.
is the one we both wear. All right.
Right,
My
right.
show bra. We both have the same kind. And then we used to have the same size. Then I had mine lopped off, of course.
Yep. Lop.
And then I showed my sleeping bra, which is real comfy. And then I showed my Zoom bra. I'm wearing it right now. Okay. 'Cause we're on Zoom.
So go to Laurie Kilmartin's Instagram and see her bra video because it is ridiculously hilarious.
Since I did well on Instagram, I put it on Twitter.
Oh, good call.
But listen, a lot of these female comics that are flying in private planes are performing in bras. They're doing their promo in bras and their underpants.
Right,
Jackie, we have to step it up. That's what I'm saying.
I can't express to the world how much they don't want to see me in my underpants.
No.
So
Here, I might make an underwear video, but just show people my underwear again. Just on YouTube.
I used to do a when there wasn't, it was I do hotel art, right?
Yeah.
Art in the hotel room, and then for a while I was doing pajama time, and I was showing people what I was wearing for pajamas.
Yeah.
And it was all right. It would just be a video of until I realized that I was usually nude when I was shooting it. And I was like, well, that's just weird, because what if there's like a weird reflection and then all of a sudden Everybody gets a body shot
Oh,
of this
so you
thing.
have I just have a pair of road pajamas and I wear them all week. You have different pajamas you bring it on every different road trip?
Yeah, well, sometimes I bring one set of pajamas, another time I bring another set of pajamas.
All right. Well, that seems
You
like
have
two
many.
days.
You have a lot of robes. I have a lot of pajamas.
I have one road robe that I bring only on the road. And
Really?
it's like an older version of my pink robe that I have here, which it lost some of its fluffiness, but it makes it easier to pack. And I still
Right.
have the robe comfort of wearing something that cinches across my waist as I'm, going down for a hotel breakfast.
You go to hotel breakfast in your pajama robe, your pajamas and robe?
Who's going to stop me? Why not?
Nobody. Nobody is going to stop you.
If these assholes are bringing their kids to breakfast, I'm going to wear a robe. Okay.
That's it. I'm just going to go down in my bra. Maybe
Now
we'll
you're
get people-
talking. Now we're going to start selling out.
That's it. Finally, we're doing Louisville. Do you remember the Louisville gig that we said we'd do?
Yes, we had to cancel the Lincoln Lodge.
Right. We had to cancel. All Chicago shows have been postponed.
Yes, for you, not for me, but for
Right.
you.
Right. Because you're going to go back to the Den, right?
I'm doing the Den in August. We rescheduled that to account for Omicron.
Right.
But we're going to be in Louisville at the Planet of the Tapes.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's something.
at the end of May.
Right. And
And you assure me that there's potential for money here.
yeah.
Okay.
Because are you doing a door deal?
I don't. You and I are doing the same thing. I don't know what we're doing.
Oh, Louisville.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's potential for money there.
Okay. Because
I
Eddie
can't
Pepitone
remember.
was there.
Oh, right. I've been trying to follow Eddie Pepitone around the country, and I'm doing
It's not a
Humboldt.
bad idea.
Yeah, I'm doing a Humboldt County, though I have to figure out because I'm real scared about that airline out of Burbank, which
they're
supposedly
very
flies directly. So
inconsistent.
it's supposed to be inconsistent. Yeah,
Where in Humboldt County?
don't know. I can't remember. I thought that was the name of the town, but it
No,
isn't. That's the name of the county.
It's not Humboldt County. Humboldt County.
I wanted. So it's New York, New York. All right, let's do a quick break, real quick. Yeah, so I do have some road work coming up. I'm starting a running list right now of clubs to ask about.
Dang,
And-
I need to start. I've been
A running
terrorizing
list?
Luke about other things, so I need to start terrorizing him about road dates now.
Right. Yeah, I'm doing Seattle, the Crocodile, third week of March,
Oh, cool.
and I'm doing Humboldt County somewhere, and Ann Arbor in April. Oh, and then Moon Tower in April.
I'm gonna be doing. I'll be in Toronto. I'll be in Ontario. Well, I guess Toronto. Different parts of that place in Canada. Is it in Ottawa? Is Toronto? Oh man, I can't even believe I'm asking this.
Right.
You know that side of Canada, the one that's
The
above.
east side that's above New
near
York and all
Detroit.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Detroit.
I'll be
Yeah.
over there. I'll be doing JFL, and believe me, by the time I get there, I will know where this is exactly on a map. But come see the JFL shows. It's like 8 different shows over 11 days, and we have some off nights. I guess I'll be staying in a hotel and hanging out. I'm gonna miss a couple of my son's swim meets. That's a bummer, but he'll understand. When
He'll get
mom
it.
has income, that feels good. My kid did have 2 meets this week. You know.
Yeah.
Now, that one's a hard one for me. Like water polo, I don't know much about water polo. I don't know. I didn't play it. We only played it once so the coach could let us know how much easier we had it as swimmers because it's so fucking hard.
Yeah.
But swimming, I was with a bunch of moms, right? And they're all sort of new to being swim moms, right? And so meets and everything. And I was like rocking because I had so much information to tell. And I'm like, I just can't, I would just, be,
Tick a lot.
I mean, otherwise I wouldn't stop talking about it and repeating. No, the medley relay is back breast fly free, and the IM is fly back breast free. Okay. Like, to me, this is like basic knowledge. Everyone knows, right?
No, everyone does not know. Though I have been told that everyone of our age should know those swimmers that you rattled off last week.
Thank you.
Yeah,
and
yeah, you got the support.
Whoever did our captioning got the names all wrong. It's Tracy Hawkins, not Macy Bawkins, or whatever the fucking caption said.
Kyle Clark, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
took on good faith the words you were saying and what they sounded like. And I didn't know how to search specific swimmers from the 1980s or 90s. So again, I apologize. I should have followed up. I didn't even think that they would be the wrong names.
Unbelievable.
Make a note. Whenever names
always
come
check swimmers.
Yeah, check the names.
Yes. Oh, you know what was fun? I forget the name of the show. It has the word femmes in it with Bailey Norton and Sam Mowry. And basically you get paired up with a male comic and you get to interrupt their set and do whatever you want. And then you do a set and you're not interrupted.
You get to essentially right, because what are you questioning their premises or their punchlines or their life decisions?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You can be a dick. Yeah, or you could. Yeah. I made Sam Wiseby like quiet for 30 seconds.
You know, because stand-up, that's my whole thing about themed stand-up shows. It's because stand-up is so easy to begin with. Let's add juggling on top of it. Let's put people on unicorns and then...
Here's the thing, Jackie. If you get to do a regular set and the other comic is tortured, that's fine. To me, that's not a themed show anymore.
Right, that's just justice.
Yeah.
And so true. Where are we at, Kyle?
We got about 10 minutes left.
No, I'm so hungry.
Are you hungry? I made Andy. Andy had to go play test. He's got a new board game that he's got a publisher for, but he had to go play test it to see if it works.
Wow.
And so dashed off to Geeky Teas at Burbank.
DoorDash, food. Oh.
But he was like, I am sorry to ask you this. It feels, hey, honey, can you make me a sandwich? But could you make me a sandwich? And I said, if you have he's also helping our neighbors. One of our neighbors is gone. So she asked if he would pick up her mail and water her yard. And he's like, yeah, of course. He's like, I forgot to do the thing with Jackie's house. And I was like, okay, well, I could be some solution here.
Your neighbor is also named Jackie?
I know. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
She's of an age too. So I was like, were you named after the Kennedys? Were your family close friends with Jackie Kennedy? Mine were not. When my mother was sitting at Frenchie's dive bar in South Milwaukee, Frenchie's, that was the name of it. I just did a dork.
Is a French name. I mean.
Do you know that I'm going to tell 3 stories at once? Why not? We have time.
Yes.
Valerie Tossi did the Dork Forest.
Right.
And her Dork Forest was about dive bars. It was also about live music, right? Because the last time she did the Dork Forest, she did concerts. Mm-hmm. And so she wanted to update like what concerts she'd seen since lockdown got lifted and what live concerts she saw over Zoom. And it was actually quite fascinating. It's music. I can't remember any of them. Good for her. Anyway, so, but the dive bars I remember because of my predilection, but she had like destination dive bars, Valerie Tossi. Very funny comic, by the way. Yes. She has a new album out called Beach Trash.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And so listen to that, stand-up comic fans.
Oh yeah.
Yes, she's great.
Trash.
Phenomenal.
And so, but she had a destination dive bar in New Orleans. Uh-huh. She had one in Nashville. She had one in her hometown where her brother has his cornhole league. And then I think there was one here in Los Angeles that she talked about. And I was like, because you never know when you say to somebody, what's your dorkdom? You never know where they're going to go with that.
Jackie,
right?
I never say that to anyone.
You did say it to me once.
No, I never did. Unless you forced me to. Is that how?
No, you volunteered. You said, can Kathleen, and I quote, can Kathleen Madigan and I come on and talk about the Kennedys? Episode 2 of the pre-recorded
That's 2?
Dork Force. Yeah, episode 2 or 3 of the pre-recorded. So episode like 220 of the whole show.
Did you see this thing on Twitter? There's a singer named Mitski, I think. I don't know this person, but they had said, hey, like, can people please not take their iPhone out during the concert or something like that? And someone responded like, hey, I am neurodivergent, or they use that terminology, something like that. And recording the show helps me remember it because I can't remember it and I can't be in the moment because of some brain thing. And it's like, what the fuck? Just let it go then.
Right. You do
can't
not
remember it. It's over. You didn't get it. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's why you keep your ticket.
Yeah. Look at your ticket a lot.
Unbelievable.
That's what's happened. You don't get to film other people's art.
Yeah.
And the replies were all just like, this is madness. Like, you can't make everything about something with your brain, you know? Like, sometimes you can't use it as an excuse, and then you're like, here's the best way I have of remembering it. I put it on my YouTube channel. And then I enable the advertising. And you're like, all that money helps me remember your act. My God.
Yes.
And then Megan Keister, did you see what happened? Oh my God.
Right.
Unbelievable.
She had never seen Ted Lasso. And then she made a kind of a snarky comment about
about the fans of Ted Lasso on Twitter, like the specific and I know who she. Yeah.
And all I did was say this. I resemble this, and but people lost their tiny lizard minds over it.
It made Ted Lasso Twitter. I mean, it made it trend. The people like quote tweeting and being angry and replying. It was unbelievable. And I'm like, would you, as a comic, do you want is this your greatest dream come true or your worst nightmare, or is it both?
Right. Is this my 15 minutes? Because this isn't how I wanted to use it. And
then it's like, well, people are like, I've never heard of you. Oh, really? Well, she has a short on HBO Max, so maybe that's on you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then I copied her tweet, but I took out Ted Lasso and I put Euphoria, and then I put road dates after it. And then people started, who didn't know about her tweet, were like going, I like Euphoria. I'm like, no, stop it. You can't have fun anymore. God damn it.
You can, but then somebody wants to whack-a-mole it.
Yeah.
Too funny. Oh my gosh, that made me laugh.
You guys got 2 minutes.
Gonna just do a little meditation.
I like
Jackie, remember the old days we would just stare until we came up with something?
Yeah.
What happened in our chat? Did anything good happen in the chat?
In the chat.
Oh yeah, I'll tell you what happened. Amy Miller said something, and then she goes, great, by the time I get it, I'll be 56. And I'm like, oh, your joke old age is my actual age. Thanks heaps, honey.
Oh my God, too funny. And it was weird how the aging process. I've decided I want to be a person who goes to the dentist again, so I'm going to try to do a dental appointment.
Sure. Didn't you get your teeth cleaned or whitened?
Yeah. I got them cleaned and whitened, and then the crooked one fixed.
Oh, let me see.
That all happened last year.
Oh, yeah.
And then it all happened. I was a person who went to the dentist. I went to the dentist like 4 times in 21, and then maybe more. And then they're like, "Hey, you're due for your cleaning," and I'm like, "I'm on the road. I'm tired. I don't want to go." But now I kind of want to get back to it, and I'm also going to go get a physical, and because I have all kinds of stuff. I did a bunch of other people's podcasts this week. I did a couple of Dork Forest, which is good. And I'm fighting this cold and just trying to
you're making sandwiches for your man.
I'm making it was a scramble. That's what I made. I made it without a scramble. I made like a stir fry with some parsnips and collard greens and Yeah.
My primary, like I had to get a colonoscopy, I had to get a mammo, everything's fine. And she goes, your carotid arteries are gigantic. So I had to go get like a MRI of that, and then the vascular surgeon who did my
The stent?
did my
Yeah.
iliac thing, he's like rolls his eyes, he goes, you have what's called tortured arteries. And I guess they just go all up, in circles all around my body like crazy straws, and so that makes my carotids big. And he goes, "Ugh." Like I'm like, ugh, one of you people with your tortured arteries.
Well, I think that it makes it possible for you and your tortured arteries to film other people's music and put it up on YouTube.